Hello, welcome to another episode of New Gameplay Today. I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Alex Stadnick.
Hello, friends.
Hello, and Blake Hester.
Jeff, thank you so much for having me. It's an
I
honor.
couldn't have done this without you because this is some spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Normally,
we're holding hands together.
I'd say, what are we playing? But I know what we're playing. This is Little Nightmares 2, the sequel to Blake.
Little Nightmares 1.
There you go, which
They
was
grow
not
up so
titled that,
fast.
oddly enough.
Hunger. I wanted to talk about that. What a coincidence.
Very good. So, this is my gameplay, except for the parts that I do poorly, in which case something took control. It was not me, so there you go. Yeah, if you played the first game, you might recognize that little character in the yellow raincoat. You're not playing as her, though. You got this little guy with the paper bag on his head, kind of a unknown comedian, or unknown comic, sorry.
Or the
reference.
author in The Simpsons. You know who I'm talking about?
Thomas Pynchon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an
his name?
exclusive? You play as Thomas Pynchon and
I think it might be. Exactly. So I should ask you guys first, how are you with hand stuff? Because there's a lot of hand stuff in this game.
There's a lot of jokes that just ran through my head, none of which
I don't
want
know
to-
what you're possibly talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, at least in this demo, you'll see, like, you guys, if you know anything about horror movies, they're doing a really poor decision-making approach where they split up whenever possible. So
No.
here you go. And I did run through this demo a couple times, so I'm kind of doing it not quite a speed run, but I'm making a beeline for the objectives. That's the spooky hand right there.
Oh, I don't like that.
Now you're really not gonna like what happens next then.
Oh, good.
It gets worse. I will say this game looks so good. And
Yeah.
also it's very grotesque and scary and ugly. But do you have thoughts about the original Little Nightmares, Blake?
I think the original Little Nightmares looked a lot better than it played. I did not enjoy the experience of it, but at almost all times, especially towards the climax of that game, I found it to be a visual delight.
Yes.
Just didn't think the gameplay and aesthetics kind of matched up for me.
Get ready for one of the biggest loads of BS ever. The thing jumped on my face as I was exiting that section.
Oh, what? That didn't
Right?
even... Dumb. That I thought you cleared that.
Unfair.
But it seems like the checkpoint system is pretty forgiving.
Pretty forgiving, yeah. It doesn't, let's just pretend, it lulls you to sleep and gently tucks you back in on your shelf. We'll say that's what's happening there.
It's very kind of it.
Yeah. I invented a really sophisticated puzzle here the first time I played this demo too, by the way, that did not involve going up that grate. It was a lot of climbing on the background objects. I didn't get very far.
Oh.
But that's just my story.
Is the game difficult? I feel like that's something I remember about the first game, is it being deceptively hard.
It's interesting. We'll see it a little bit in the demo. I think a lot of it too is just kind of figuring out what you can and can't do. The combat, such that it isn't spectacular. I think it's a little like targeting is kind of strange.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, you're not a special ops boy with the bag over his head, or girl. I don't know. I haven't seen this young individual take the bag off, so who knows what's going on under there. But like this is an interesting section because originally I didn't know that I could use this hammer. I picked it up and it just like his or her positioning was such that I was like, is this just too heavy for me to use? Is that like what's going on here? And then I was like, oh no, I could just beat the crap out of this stupid thing.
Yeah, get it.
And what I should be doing here, watching this, it's really setting my teeth on edge. You wait for this, you kind of lure it out to do its jump, and then while it's flopping around, you have like a fairly easy shot if you can aim in the right way. So yeah.
You were antsy. You wanted to kill this stupid thing.
Yeah,
It's
you should
very
watch me play
spider-like.
Bloodborne. It's really good, yeah.
Do you know, did they get the license to Thing T Thing from the Addams Family for this game?
That's a really good question. I don't believe they did. I think that it's fallen into public domain, the concept of hand, but I don't know. So originally what I did, like the first time I played this, is I like grabbed this fuse. I didn't fight this thing. I grabbed this fuse and then just like threw it and booked it away and was able to like hide behind that block, and it was unable to attack me from that position. So I think this is indicative of kind of where we're at with the game. Like you've got what you're intending to do, and it seems like it's really finicky about your positioning and stuff. So like, You know
So
what I
you
mean?
have to be the exact spot to
There's a
complete
lot
a
of,
task.
at least in this yeah. See, then I go, some of the frustrations came from less just the nature of what I was doing, but like the act of doing it,
For sure.
which is kind of annoying. But also, I'm this is still a work in progress, and all those
Yeah.
caveats apply. But
For
I
sure.
feel like in games like this or Limbo or Inside, incorporating any amount of trial and error is such a thin line because done wrong, it completely messes up the flow of a game like this where you want it to just keep going.
yes, there's a section later on in this particular run where I grab on something, and the first time I did it, it was like, well, duh, you grab on that, and it's very obvious. The second time, it looked like I was grabbing on it, but I was missing, so I could see like someone getting stuck, being like, wait, what?
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
So you'll see. I don't want just a little tease for what's coming up ahead.
Little spoiler.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah.
things I like about this in the first game too is just like it's called Little Nightmares, but look how small you are. Like that chair is just so big, and that sponge that we walk past,
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
very large. I just love the sense of scale and how strange it is.
Yeah. And the atmosphere is so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now it doesn't appear like it in this demo, but is this going to be co-op because you have the two characters, or is the other character just there to provide support?
The other character is there to provide support.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so no co-op then is what you're saying?
That's my understanding. At least this demo was just a single player.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very much Boo from the Super Mario series.
The way they
don't
move.
like that at all.
Nope.
Yeah, it's not great.
Ugh.
He's got a really nice lock on, kind of. It's soft. It's not like you're pushing a button to engage it, but if you kind of like aim with the right stick on an enemy and circle around him, he'll automatically maintain like targeting on enemies, which is nice because like coming up a little bit ahead in the future, it's important.
Okay.
I feel like the Little Nightmare games are kind of like those oh yeah games where you forget they exist, but they're surprisingly popular under the surface, like For Honor or something. Like
Yeah.
they've done a few different DLCs, I think, for the first one, and like Bandai Namco like greenlit a sequel for it. Like I feel like this series is doing surprisingly well for such a small little studio over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. This is one of my favorite little things, is crouching while backtracking and keeping things in the beam. I think it looks so cool.
Under that bag too, the character's just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Just nonstop cursing.
Yep.
That's what's going on.
The sound is horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I love it.
incredibly eerie.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Tarsier Studios that made this was one of the very first interviews I ever did as a games writer for my
really?
original blog, Parents Basement Gaming. But
Nice.
I ended up importing a lot of the interviews from that blog to a site called Game Espresso. But I did an interview with them in 2015 about the original Little Nightmares, which was called Hunger at the time. And while I was reading it, I had forgot they specifically made sure to mention how big of an influence Roald Dahl was on them. And looking at this, it is like, yes, this is a Roald Dahl novel from hell.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
That's amazing.
A nasty ass toilet, of course.
Toilets are never nice in video games. I feel like they're always gross.
Yep.
In Control, they were pristine.
Were they?
Oh yeah, the bathrooms in Control were the highlight of that game for me.
I smell an opinion piece.
No,
This part's fun.
Oh god.
Wow.
What is it about mannequins and just ugh.
What are you playing this on? It is beautiful.
Playing this on my personal computer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it very striking. I wanted to linger and appreciate things visually, but at the same time, I'm like, that guy's crawling at me, and it's probably not smart.
Time and place, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh.
But I can see, especially on something like that, I can see, because you brought up earlier, Blake, like Limbo and Inside, and I think those had the advantage of being 2D, so that limited that a little bit. Whereas I could see where that would get annoying in this. Do you feel like, to Blake's point earlier, is this a more fun play than the original one in your time with it?
Like, it's difficult to say because there were definitely like lots of points of frustration from the first game. Like I'm by default not a huge fan of stealth because I think it's really easy to bungle that kind of mechanic, and I think Little Nightmares certainly didn't nail it all the time, but I think I enjoyed it overall. I think, like to Blake's earlier point too, like the atmosphere really did a lot of the heavy lifting there too.
Yeah, that's when they showed that they were making a sequel. Like, I wanted to be excited about it, but knowing how weird it can be to play, there's like a lot of hesitation.
Yeah. These ones, just like those little portholes you crawl through, are things like they're just off enough where it's like, am I not aiming correctly at it or something? Here's a gross room. Doesn't seem to serve any real purpose, as far as I could tell, but it's doing its job of being a gross ass room. So.
Yep.
What's the like setting here for this game? Because the original took place in something. What I remember is like the mall, but you went through all the different aspects of it, like from the kitchens to the bedrooms of people to a weird restaurant that was on the mall. Like, where does this take place?
This appears to be more of like some kind of hospital type setting. You'll see like the next room. Kind of a psych ward thing, I think, is what they're going for. That gross room that we were just in, had padded walls. This seems like a terrible idea, but you have to do this to proceed. I think we're going to have a miracle on our hands, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh! 'Tis the season for those... Ick.
Yeah.
Were you playing this by yourself, or was it like a guided demo with PR or anything?
Playing it by myself.
How scared were you doing this then?
I don't know that I find this like scary. It's more of just like really grotesque and ugly in a way that I really am into.
Yeah.
There's certainly like moments where you're startled, and then it's got a nice sense of dread overall. But it's not like I'm like, honey, can you come downstairs and watch me play this because I'm scared.
Hold me.
Yeah.
I wonder how they balance things where, like, on some level, this game is very cute. But on other levels, it's one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I wonder how they balance that or, like, get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think one of the ways they balance that is by not showing what happens to you when the big people pick you up.
Yeah.
Like gnawing on your head like an orange or something, like a Tomb Raider / Last of Us kind of quick flash of something awful happening.
Maybe it has already, but I feel like this series is ripe for a Cuphead-like adaptation.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if it has been bought. Maybe there's a news story out there I've missed, but like it feels like it would be perfect as a creepy children's TV show.
Problem solved. On this run, like, it doesn't happen, but you can, like... They did not seem interested, but like, earlier I threw the ball, and one of them caught it, and then threw it back to me, and I kind of went back and forth a few times. It did not seem to serve any real purpose, but it was like, hey, that's great that they knew that someone was going to want to do that. This is what I was talking about, this ledge here. It was just like, the first time I did it, it was just like jumping on the first Goomba in Super Mario Brothers. It's just like, you don't even have to think about it. It's very obvious what you're meant to do. But these other attempts, I was just like, wait, did I move the chair or something? It just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's got some of that Uncharted 1 platforming going on.
Yeah. And then there it is, success.
Yeah.
What a hero. So I'm assuming this is some kind of electroshock therapy thing. This is like a medicinal electric chair. I'm hoping for their sake, unless this is some kind of like, I don't know, bad hospital.
Yeah, perhaps not the most subtle take on mental health and psychiatric care for.
So it was a different era, Blake.
Oh yeah, last week.
Old timey. I think this is old timey.
Yeah.
I thought you meant when you played the game and they made it.
No.
Is this something that, did you get the vibe playing this that do you have to play the first one to
No,
enjoy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. This is this awkward moment too, by the way. The first time I did this, she grabbed that fuse on her own and ran with it. So I was like, all right, do your thing. And she did not. And I was wondering, like, am I going to have to make 2 trips for these dumb fuses? But no, she off screen is grabbing the other one for me. So there's the potential of her being very helpful.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's all you can ask from your companion characters.
Exactly. Just pull your weight.
Just don't get in my way.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you want to hit on with this, Jeff?
I gotta show the end of the demo, you ding dong. We're not there
all
yet.
right.
Sheesh.
Okay. Got quiet.
We're
I
gonna
wasn't sure.
I
We
got
can let a moment breathe. We're just having elevator time. Sheesh.
That's true.
Yeah, I got a free afternoon. I can hang out all day.
Yeah, we can. I'll watch this all day, baby.
Yeah. Run it back.
So you're not gonna believe it. This is some yucky stuff going on in this hallway.
Ugh. I don't like. What is, Jeff? I guess I've never asked you this. What is your scariest game? Like, what
My scariest game?
Yeah, or like, what is there any? Has there ever been a game that you went nope after playing it and just couldn't get through it?
I think like Fatal Frame 2 was probably the scariest game. I think Alien Isolation is super tense also, but it's not like scary. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this makes you want to. Yeah.
Oh, face hugger.
Yep. All right, here we go. This time, I feel good about it.
I feel like this is a good example of what I was talking about with the original game. Like, they're building up so much tension in the dark hallways before this, and then the reveal of the hands, and then you're just frustrated because you can't like nail the timing of the hits. You know,
It loses something, the repetition. Like here, it's very easy to get just overwhelmed when they come out at the same time. The camera, like the pipe got stuck on the border of the screen, kind of.
yeah. I feel like that's an issue just in all horror games, is how you handle death. Because once you have a scary moment and you die and have to repeat it, it's no longer scary and it loses a lot of the punch.
Definitely. Yeah.
There we go. Feels so good.
Victory.
There we go. Yeah, it's interesting too, because other times she has peeled those boards back on her own. This time is that helping? Seems like I'm not doing a lot.
Yeah.
Except for falling right on my A.
Yeah. I like that it seems to like try to give people different experiences and little more organic moments, but if it's more AI inconsistency, that's just, I feel like that's going to be annoying.
Yeah.
But it's still early.
Yeah.
The emphasis on mannequins is very weird. Do you get the impression that that's like the main enemy or whatever?
I don't know. It could just be their water level, you know. This is the mannequin one.
Yeah.
In the first game, it was like weird, fleshy humans.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot
There's
of weird...
a little bit of that.
Okay. A lot of weird flesh stuff in the first game.
Yep.
I don't like.
You were
that
saying?
at all.
Hi.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a little slice of Little Nightmares 2. It's coming out February 11th on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And then eventually PS5 and Xbox Series X/S. So there you go.
Beautiful thing.
So again, it is a pretty spooky game. Make you wet your bed and all that good stuff. So
All that fun.
yeah,
You know what?
there you go. But
Thank you, Jeff Cork, for sharing.
thank you guys for sitting here and being shared with.
Wow, that person was really good at playing that game. Those other people were really good at talking about it, too. If you find yourself saying either of these things, subscribe to Game Informer on YouTube for new episodes of New Gameplay Today every week, covering the hottest new and upcoming releases.